we had an incident happen with some of the equipment here. So the hardwire connection from his computer to the roadcaster here, the port just shook out apparently in transit, and so we can't have a good enough air signal to get it to the studio. But here we are on YouTube. So welcome everybody in to day 2. It is the afternoon edition of the Sportsocracy. We will have the night 2 coverage for you coming up tonight as the second rounds, or the second and third round of the NFL draft tonight from Detroit, Michigan, will be covered live. Last night was a doozy. Huh? How about that first round?
Oy. Yeah.
I mean, there were some, it started well. It started in order that made kind of sense. And then still trying to figure out what the hell the Atlanta Falcons were thinking.
They were smoking crumbs. That's what they were doing. I will say, I've covered this draft for a long time. This is the first one we've been on site for. That is the dumbest draft pick I've ever seen. And it's really not all that close.
No, it's absolutely not close. And nobody apparently can figure out why. And nobody has a good answer for anything.
Because there's not a good answer.
No, there's not.
Because you spend $100-something million to bring in Kirk Cousins, and then you go, hey, as opposed to helping him, maybe we should bring in a quarterback that's going to sit for 3 damn years. That is the dumbest thought I've ever heard in my life. When that pick came down last night, I swear to you, I went full Joe Rogan like, what? I think it was Austin Groves or somebody tagged it in the YouTube stream of that is of where the actual response was.
Yeah. It was absolutely unbelievable that Michael Penix Jr., I wasn't even expecting to hear his name called in the first round. Maybe at the back end, right? We had talked about the Raiders trading back in to get him at the end.
Well, Penix had been hot through a lot of the process. I knew there was a great chance that he was going to the first round. That's why I had him in the mock draft.
6 quarterbacks in the top 12.
It's insane.
It is
It's insane, and they got dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber as we went.
Did you see Sean Payton on the podium
no.
last night? It was quite interesting. He was kind of retelling what it felt like in the war room. He said, I think the quote was, everything got turned on its head with Atlanta at 8. And then something to the effect of we had to get our guys. To me, it was, we panicked when the quarterbacks started coming off the board. And then, of course, he turned it into, well, but Bo was our guy, and he fell to us.
Oh, Bo was our guy. Yeah, Bo should have been your guy in the 3rd round. That would have been. That's where Bo Nix would have made a lot of sense.
I was thinking maybe we were on a path to see Spencer Rattler taken in the first round last night. Got so crazy.
That would have been
the New York Giants.
I think I would have come unglued. I really do. I think I would have come unglued.
The New York Giants trade up to get into the 5th-year option on Spencer Rattler.
And Nick asked in the YouTube comments, are we not going to see Penix until he's 27? I'm not sure that's not early. He's 24 right now. Kirk, you're locked into Kirk Cousins for 2 years no matter what you do.
Yes.
No matter money, no matter anything. You are locked into Kirk Cousins for 2 years.
Yes.
So that means it's 27 bare minimum. It might be 28. And if I hear one more person say, but Jordan Love worked out, are you sure? Are you positive that worked out?
Well, I mean, it looks okay at this point.
Well, I mean, you got one playoff win over the pitiful Dak Prescott Cowboys.
I just don't understand the thought process there.
I don't either. You spend that much money to be the most – I mean, you're the best team in the NFC South. You could have had a high-end pass rusher. You could have added Rome Odunze as a high-end weapon for Kirk Cousins, and you get a guy that's literally not going to play for you. That is the dumbest thing I have ever seen in my life.
If you're in, win now mode or try to win now mode, which the Atlanta Falcons, the front office keeps telling us that they're in, this made 0 sense. You could have sold this better as a second-round pick, but there's no way that you can justify using a top 10 pick on something that's not going to help you win now or next year
or the year after that.
Next
you do realize that there is a possibility that Raheem Morris made this pick. Terry Fontenot made this pick.
Yep.
And Michael Penix never plays a snap for either one of them.
Yeah.
That's completely on the table. That's how stupid this decision was. Matthew Hoffman in the YouTube chat asked how we're feeling. Well, we were better before all of the radio things didn't work.
Yes.
So I'm a little worse for the wear. I will tell you by 5 o'clock this morning when we fly out of here, I'm going to be in some shape. And tomorrow for day 3, I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
You will get the best I have. That may not be great, but you will get the best I have.
I'm putting on the best smile that I possibly can. Got a little headache going on. We did go home last night and finish off the alcohol in the apartment. Passed out around 3:30 and right back up and at it again 3 hours later.
Yep.
So let's rock and roll. All of your thoughts and questions, get them into the YouTube comments here. Since we're not doing the radio stream, we're going to run this like we usually do.
Works for me.
Just sitting back answering questions, talking strategies and all of that for the next 2 rounds of the draft tonight. And, of course, winners and losers all over the place, with the losers mainly coming from the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos.
Those were the 2 biggest dum-dums.
Yes.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Who would be next on your list in the dum-dum category?
Buffalo. You do realize that Buffalo may have traded down. And do I love Xavier Worthy? No, I don't. But you may have just given Kansas City their next star that they're going to use to beat you for the next 5 years. That's dumb. I also don't understand why Kansas City felt like they had to trade up. I don't understand why any team that traded up felt like they had to trade up.
But that's part of the calculation for Buffalo is, okay, go get your guy.
But you didn't know who their guy was.
But did it matter?
Absolutely it mattered.
Okay.
You need a receiver. You know they're either moving up for an offensive lineman or a receiver, and so you trade back 4 spots. I don't get it. Now, and then you do it again with Carolina. Carolina picks up the 5th-year option on Xavier Legette.
Right.
So now you've lost 2 guys that could have been the receiver you're looking for. It doesn't make any sense for me. And you did all this for a couple day 3 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Let the good times roll.
We've talked about how they need to add bodies on that team.
They do, because they're not very good.
Yeah. So I'm just picking up what I hope can be some useful depth pieces, at least in day 3 of the draft. Come on, you're the draft guy. You see all the value that's still there.
Oh, there's no doubt I still see value. This is also probably the worst day 3 we've ever seen. Because after about 150, it gets a little scant.
Any other losers other than the Bills?
Oh, me. That I didn't pay off my I didn't pay off my. I'm going to win the media contest.
Yeah,
I showed nicely.
Loser.
I showed nicely.
I only finished in the top 30. It's okay. I guess I'll be okay.
I mean, I wanted to win.
Well, sometimes you can't win everything.
I didn't come to finish 30th. I came to finish 1.
I get it.
Other losers at San Francisco, I told you they were going to do something strange. I just didn't know exactly what it was. And I like Ricky Pearsall. I don't think I heard a single person the entire lead up to the draft say that he was going to go in the 1st round. That never even crossed my mind. And then goes ahead of A.D. Mitchell. And I understand he's got some character issues. I understand he's got a little bit of medical. But is it enough that it changes who they are? Because I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I did see some mock drafts that had Ricky Pearsall in the back end of the first round. But
did they come from people that went to Florida?
I mean, I have no idea. He was one of those guys.
Did Trevor Sikkema do it? Because he did go to Florida.
Maybe Trevor did do it. Maybe he put the thumb on the scale there for his guy. But he ended up being right. Ricky Pearsall, a first-round draft pick.
I mean, another loser would be the Tennessee Titans.
To me, who?
The Tennessee Titans. I mean, the Pearsall thing, I mean, yes, you're a loser to me because you took a guy higher than you had to. Mm-hmm. The Tennessee Titans might be the luckiest team on the planet that you had the Falcons and the Broncos go full dum-dum to let them off the hook of, okay, so let's be real honest here. Who the hell are you planning on playing on the left side? Because I can't wait to hear this explanation.
Uh-huh.
You have 3 tackles on that team. All 3 of them are right tackles. All of them. And I have no clue what they're planning on doing. You panicked.
I'm just throwing bodies at it.
You panicked when you got on the clock. You couldn't get down with Minnesota, of which I feel like there had to be a trade on the board there. I mean, maybe Minnesota didn't want to come up there, but I feel like Denver would have done something to come up to at least keep you from having to take J.C. Latham at 7.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, he's a fine player. I don't have a problem with the player. I have a problem with the fit.
Well, apparently they see him differently than you do.
Well, I mean, there's only 2 ways to see J.C. Latham: the way I see him and to see him incorrectly. I mean, what are you going to tell me? Nick Saban's wrong here
because he can't pass block.
No, I didn't say that. I said he can't play on the left side.
Right.
Nick Petit-Frere can't either. I've already seen him do it. And I'll be honest with you, he has a better shot than Latham does.
I was going to say, one of them's going to have to. May not be the right position, but one of them's going to play it.
Having said they have the Titans have one of the best O-line coaches in the league. If that's who he wanted, then I'm okay with it. I mean, and I get that. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you, you mark my words, 6 weeks into next year, we're going to be going, you know, that left side for Tennessee's a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a problem.
I didn't have a major problem with any picks really outside of, I mean, Xavier Worthy to me was a head-scratcher a little bit for Kansas City, but I get it. I mean,
it's not a head-scratcher for me. I've got the best big-arm quarterback in the league, and now I have the fastest player in the league.
Exactly. This worked pretty well with Tyreek Hill.
I mean, I had Xavier Worthy going to the Chiefs in a mock a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So it wasn't untoward to me in any way. But, you know, I mean, here we are. We're going into day 2. Matthew Hoffman asked me in the YouTube chat. I've had a minute to think on it. How do I feel about Ola Fashanu over Brock Bowers? I have no problem with it. I mean, I like Brock. I wanted Brock. Mm-hmm. But now you have protection for Aaron Rodgers if Tyrann Mathieu doesn't work out, or Tyron Smith or Morgan Moses. Now, where you're planning on playing him off the rip, I have no clue.
We're going to slot him in. We're going to protect that quarterback.
But the only thing I can figure is that they're planning on starting him on the right side and sliding Moses into guard.
Maybe.
Or Moses is going to be the swing tackle. I do not know.
Your number one job is to protect your quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Right? He's the thing. He's the straw that stirs the drink. You saw last year what happened without him. You had to do something to protect him. To me, Brock Bowers, it would have been great. But when you have a tackle like Fashanu on the board, Brock Bowers becomes a luxury pick. Mm-hmm. And Ola Fashanu becomes a necessity. Am I going to be able to get another tackle like him elsewhere in this draft?
Well, Fashanu is the long-term left tackle. You've also got a current starter that you know definitively is not going to play 17 minutes. So, I mean, I have no problem with it. Mm-hmm.
No issue.
Plus, this is a draft where pass catchers are not at a premium because there's about 1,000 of them. And I feel very sure the Jets will add a wide receiver later tonight, and I'll be fine. I'll be just fine.
Yep. Losers of the first round. Again, Atlanta, Denver. Atlanta, the biggest loser of them all. And then Denver. And then I don't think that there were many losers in the first round.
Well, I mean, a lot of in the chat, it seems that Thomas Gage and DNA are asking me about Jordan Morgan to the Packers. I have no problem with it. I told you that people in the NFL, the actual scouts, not media jackals, saw Jordan Morgan as a top 25 player.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to my big board right now. I don't remember exactly where I had him, but I think it was at 28.
Let me see here. I got it pulled up. Yep, 28.
28. That's when you know you locked in on the draft, when you can literally remember who your 28th player was.
So I mean, is that a problem? Was that too much of a reach for them? Is that what they were saying in the?
Well,
in the comments?
Apparently Green Bay fans didn't love the pick because they wanted Tyler Guyton or whoever it was they wanted. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Jordan Morgan's not sexy, and I'll be really honest with you. One of the things that I think is so funny, the more I do this, is how often fans fall into, well, we didn't get the sexy pick. I didn't get the guy that's going to be on my fantasy team. No, you got the guy that's going to help your team, and Jordan Morgan's one of those guys. Jordan Morgan will come in and start on the left side right away. You can leave Zach Tom on the right, and your line is better. You're helping Jordan Love. You're doing the thing the Atlanta Falcons apparently do not understand, which is you invest in a quarterback, and you have to help said quarterback. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm totally good with Green Bay.
Yep. We did have a trade into the first round for the hometown team, the Carolina Panthers. Traded up to 32 to get Xavier Legette from South Carolina. I like the player. I like the wide receiver. I like his ability as a wide receiver. And
they were drunk on him the whole process.
The extra year. You get the 5th-year option.
Which is a big deal.
If he's going to be a thing, absolutely.
Well, especially with how crazy the receiver market's getting. So, I mean, I definitely understand why Carolina did that. They've been hot on him the entire process. That was one of the worst-kept secrets in the NFL. And maybe it's just that we're close to – maybe it's just that we're close to Carolina. But
right.
I knew definitively that was who Carolina was targeting. I thought they were targeting him at 39. I felt pretty sure Jackson Powers Johnson was going to be picked 33. Now I'm not sure they get him at 39.
JPJ.
They could.
Is that who you're talking about at 39?
They could, and I feel like that's probably where the latter part of this here program. We'll mock the second and third round. Let's go. Second and third round going to be a mock draft. Mock draft.
All right, so so Jason Griffin, he had asked, was that a good move to get up and get the 5th-year option?
Yes.
Yes, it was a good. If that guy is going to be a thing, and you want him to be a star, obviously, I want to be able to lock in that extra year that I'm not going to have to pay him $40 million if he's.
Oh, I'm totally good with it.
Let's see. Tyson Carter says that. He thinks that the Pats will go A.D. Mitchell at 34.
I wouldn't be shocked. I would say it's probably more likely A.D. Mitchell goes 33 to Bill, and Troy Franklin goes 34 to Miami.
Okay.
That would be, I mean, without having started the second, third-round mock draft that we will be doing here in a little bit, that would be my thought.
Okay, good. That was a follow-up in the question. He said, so if he does go at 33, then who do they go with? You use Troy Franklin. The other options he laid out were Ladd McConkey, Kingsley Suamataia, a corner, or Patrick Pohl.
I would think too high for Patrick Pohl.
I would think any of those would be okay selections at that spot. But you say too high for Pohl.
This is too high for Pohl. I mean, going in the top of the second round, you're expecting him to come in and play right away, and I don't think that sets him up into a position. I would like him to sit for half the year, maybe even the whole year, and play the swing, really learn how to play the position, get stronger.
Evan Doyle says he found out last night that Ola Fashanu only has 200 more career snaps than Amarius Mims.
I don't think that's true.
That sounds.
I could be.
Right.
I mean, I can check it.
Maybe so. Was he one that had to sit for a while, or did he?
Fashanu played 2
time,
years.
or?
Amarius Mims played 8 games. That was more than that. But
he was there. What, 3 years?
I'll tell you. I mean, I've got it listed right here. Ola Fashanu in his career played 1,349 snaps in 24 games. So yeah, that's that. I thought Mims played like 800, but I could be lower. So Fashanu was at 1,349.
Yep.
Mims was at 706.
Okay.
I knew it couldn't have been that close.
Yeah.
It was roughly 600 more.
Yeah.
1,300 is about what you want for a 2-year starter. I mean, because full 4-year starters are roughly 27. I think the highest I've seen is 2,700.
Denver Donkeys asked, does Cousins play better when you piss him off?
I hope so.
I don't think you could piss him off much more than
you did last night.
The Falcons did last night. See that?
I can tell you, he's appropriately pissed.
Oh, 100%.
And he should be.
Yes. Because you gave me nothing to work with. No, you gave me a headache now.
Oh, the first time that Darnell Mooney cuts off a route early and he gets pissed or gets picked off, don't be shocked when he comes to the sideline pissed. I would be. I bet Roma Dunze would have legged that one out.
Yeah.
But the Kirk Cousins thing to me feels like what will be a bad marriage. I just feel like you're in the honeymoon phase and you just tried to pick up a girl at a bar in front of her.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It is dumb. Evan Doyle said, why would someone go on the internet and lie to me?
Never happens, right?
Yeah, you should always be careful who you believe on the interwebs. Never
seen it.
Colin Greene asked about why A.D. Mitchell's falling. There were a little bit of character concerns, and apparently there's a little bit of a medical that I did not flag it, but I also don't have access to full medical.
Yeah.
So, those are the two things I've heard since last night.
Here's a plea for Johnny Newton to wind up with the Carolina Panthers at the top of the second round here. I thought maybe that could be their pick.
I thought they were just playing Shania Twain in here to try to get us to leave. I swear to God, I didn't realize that was that commercial.
You just thought they were trying to make us leave?
Well, I mean, you can't say we are literally the only people in Radio Row right now.
We are. Well, I mean, the draft doesn't start for another,
Oh yeah, and I figure since we're not on terrestrial radio, we'll go to 2:00. You and I can see some sights here in Denver.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the next question, and then I'm going to have to go to the restroom because I didn't get to do that before we started because we were trying to frantically put all of the pieces back together on the radio side.
Look at us with over 100 people watching us at the same time.
Yeah, let's go.
That's good times.
Let's go.
That's growth. That's universal growth. Let's
go. Welcome in. If you're just joining us for the first time, we are the Sportsocracy, and we're coming to you live from Radio Row in Detroit, Michigan. Thanks to Ingles Markets, low prices, love the savings. Day 2 of the NFL Draft, all of the live discussions, live reactions coming up for night 2 tonight. Jeremy, we have a let's see here.
We also broke the super chat record for this show last night.
Thoughts on the double barrel tight end Las Vegas Raiders with Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer now?
Well, I think you have to be careful calling Brock Bowers a tight end because that's not how a lot of teams looked at him. He was kind of in that offensive weapon territory. Because, I mean, look, some teams view him as just a legit high-end football player. It's not. He's an inline tight end. Michael Mayer is more inline. I'm good with it. I didn't have a problem with the Raiders taking Brock Bowers. He took the best player on the board, and I think they intended to take Michael Penix Jr. And then he was gone because the Atlanta Falcons took him. So, I mean, I'm good with it. I don't think there's a problem with I'm never upset by taking a player that I had that high. I mean, you took the player I had at 3 at 2. Or at the player I had at 3 at 13. So I have no qualm with it. I understand why Rich Vitale, who is a Raiders fan, I understand why you wouldn't like it, but I think you're going to like Brock Bowers real fast. Malik asked if Bowers is more of a Kyle Pitts guy. Yeah, kind of. They play very differently. Bowers isn't the height, weight, speed monster. He's just a damn athlete. I mean, look, he was the leading rusher at Georgia at one point. So I think he's a great weapon. And now I look at that receiving core. I've got Devontae Adams. I've got Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer. I'm good with it. I would like them to add a running back at some point. Hopefully tonight. But Dark Soldier asked if I was happy with the Jets pick last night. I wasn't at first because I was already mentally prepared for it to be Brock Bowers. And I will tell you this, I have it on good authority that the Jets traded down, and they almost traded down again because they were locked in on Fashanu or Brock Bowers, and they knew no matter what happened, they could trade down and get one of them. So, I mean, I'm good with it. You got to protect Aaron Rodgers. There are a ton of weapons in this class. You're not going to get one as good as Brock Bowers, but you'll get a damn good tonight. Bill Buttigieg, real happy about Drake May, as well as you should be. We saw him here last night. I have to tell this story really quick. I already loved Quinyon Mitchell. I love him even more after last night because as we were walking out of here, he was walking in, and he looked pissed when he got up on stage. He was super not pissed coming through here. He had the biggest smile I think I've ever seen. I love that kid, and I think he's going to be a phenomenal player for the Eagles. And Andreas Pinckney was talking about the Eagles getting great value on him. Dakota Whitehouse. We have talked about Bo Nix to a point that is the funniest, stupid, unbelievably terrible pick I think I've ever seen. And I saw some chat that, well, they had to have a quarterback. You're right. They have 3 of them. They had 3. Ben DiNucci, Zach Wilson, and Jared Stidham. But none of those are a franchise quarterback. Neither is Bo Nix. Look, Bo Nix is 24 years old. The book is and has been out on Bo Nix. And I just feel like Denver panicked. The run on quarterbacks was more than they thought it would be, and they took the last one. And they took him in a place that doesn't make any sense. I had Bo Nix at 89 overall. I thought he was a second-round pick at best, and that was with the quarterback inflation. So I think it's dumb. I think you're going to regret it. I think a year from now you're going to be looking for a quarterback again. I also feel like the Denver Bronco quarterback room looks like they would show up on your doorstep holding Bibles with ties asking if you've heard the good news. Mike Baker, who is a Kansas City Chiefs fan, said he loved the Bo Nix pick. I'm sure you did. Joseph Hayes said he was super underwhelmed with Bo Nix, and you should be. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie to you. I feel bad. I feel bad for Denver Bronco fans at this point because I feel like you were sold a bill of goods with Sean Payton, and now you're seeing it. You're seeing it because the only thing you can tie to is, well, he looks like an imitation Drew Brees. So does Colt McCoy. I mean, if you want Drew Brees on Wish, you're going to get Wish results. And I think that's exactly what you're going to get out of Bo Nix. I think you're looking at 6 wins. Oh, I feel like I missed. Notorious B.I.G. said Sean Payton's disingenuousness will be the death of him. I don't disagree with you at all. Let's see. Vital said, is Bowers going to throw the ball to himself? Well, I mean, by the time the Raiders came up, you didn't have a choice. You didn't have a quarterback. take. That there wasn't one there that wouldn't have been just insane. Andreas Pinckney, who is a Saints fan, is apologizing to the Broncos fan. Sorry, Sean Payton did this to us. You got sold a bill of goods. I hate it for you. And he's not wrong. I mean, look, I'll be 100% honest with you. I didn't buy the Sean Payton thing from the get-go. I can't 100% tell you why, but I can tell you I have a pretty damn intimate knowledge of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. How long does this take? You said last night 2 years. Are you standing by that? He's got 2 years.
Payton?
Yep.
I'd take the under. Look, I feel like he went into a situation that didn't make sense when he took the job. Said it when he took this job.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a setup that makes a whole lot of sense to me. Because Sean Payton wants to win right now. That's why I thought he was going to take the Chargers job. And now you're trying to shoehorn yourself into jumping the line, and that's what you did. Bo Nix is not a first-round pick. There's not a person in this room last night that had Bo Nix in the top 25. I promise you that. There's not one.
Talent-wise?
Dakota Whitehouse said, I'm not an advocate for development. I actually am. Name me the last time the sixth quarterback in the draft that really panned out.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen very often.
Look, I'm high on development. I hated this quarterback class, and I said it from the jump.
Yep.
There are three that I really like. I'm good with Penix. J.J. McCarthy scares the hell out of me, and I would avoid everybody else like they were on fire.
Yeah. Last night's draft went down as if this was the greatest quarterback class ever.
And it's not. It's not even close.
Right. 6 of the top 12 picks were all quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you that this was a great class. But half of those guys should not have been picked where they were.
I agree. I mean, it should tell you something that everybody in our chat that's a fan of other teams in that division are mocking you.
Right, ecstatic. Thank you.
That's a good sign.
Thank you for doing that.
The last time I saw people do that, Bills, Patriots, and Dolphins fans when my Jets drafted Zach Wilson. They were doing the same thing. Hey, really glad you did that. And he's a bum. Oh, by the way, he's also one of your quarterbacks.
Yep. Somebody was asking alt over Neighbors. What are your thoughts on that?
Good with it.
I am as well.
A lot harder to find a left tackle than it is to find a wide receiver.
Bingo.
And look, I like Malik Neighbors a lot. I mean, I had him in the top 5. I think he's a franchise-type player. I'm not as dead set that I love Joe Alt. I absolutely love Joe Alt.
And the thought there is for the Chargers, I guess, bigger need would be wide receiver because I got tackles. But do I have a great one? Do I have 2 great ones? I guess is my question. Because now I do. Now I believe I do with Alt and Slater. I get you would want the flashy wide receiver toy, but your new coach really loves to run the ball down your throat.
Look, it's a lot more fun to take flashy wide receivers that you can put on your fantasy team than it is to take offensive linemen.
It's true.
If you look at the teams picking at the back end of the first round, the teams that are consistently deep in the playoffs, Kansas City Chiefs, best offensive line in football. Philadelphia Eagles, one of the best offensive lines in football. Baltimore Ravens, one of the best offensive lines in football. So, consistent. And it makes a lot of sense.
Danny Finn fan wants to know if you're wearing an Invicta today.
Yep. Nice. I wore a lot of blue on this trip for some reason. Not real sure why, but this is the second time I've worn this watch this week.
Yep. Spencer Rattler to the Raiders, apparently, is what Sikkim is calling for.
In the second round?
It's what Jack S. says.
Well, everybody seems to want us to do to just go ahead and get on with the mock.
Oh, just do the mock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, hey, I'm fine with.
I know you're fine with
Is it socially acceptable to go catch a nap in the car? Since we're.
It is, and it's right. It's just right there. So
You think I'm bullshit? I'm not.
What?
That I could go catch a nap in the car.
Oh, I absolutely know you could.
We have we rented a car, and they gave us a minivan. I wish it was a conversion van so there was a bed in the back, but beggars can't be choosers.
That seems a little high hopes.
Oh, I gotta build the frame for the mock. So just keep firing questions, and we'll.
But yeah, that building right there, Jeremy, that I'm pointing at, that's the parking deck.
Let's go.
That we're parked in.
Well, I mean, it cost $80 for us to park there.
Well,
so.
You wanted to get close.
I did want to get close. You know
we
why?
Don't have far to go.
You know why? Because I got 7 hours of commercial-free draftments tomorrow, too.
We got a lot going on. It's going to be a busy day. Second round mock draft.
Keep firing. I got to build the frame for it.
All right, build the frame up for it. Let's keep searching through some comments here. Really hoped Arizona takes one of Cooper DeJean, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jerzon Newton.
I will be shocked.
Powers Johnson.
I will be shocked if it's not one of those first three.
And if it is, good for you.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be Johnny Newton. I don't believe you're taking Darius Robinson and Johnny Newton back to back, but you might.
No,
I mean, I've seen weirder things.
That would seem like a bit much. However,
seems like a bit overkill taking two guys that play the exact same position.
Will they run a 4-3 there?
3-4.
3-4 then. Okay, then maybe that would be a little weird. But Johnny Newton's hard to turn away from. You're a fan.
He is. It's just he's fallen throughout the entire process, which is stupid.
I mean, if I'm Arizona, I'm adding to my secondary, no questions asked, because Sean Murphy Bunting is the best thing you've got going for you, and I know I say that a couple of times I have said that a couple of times throughout this process, that they've got Sean Murphy Bunting. You guys know I'm being facetious, right? I hope we all know that Tank's just joking, because he ain't great. He can't be.
You would know.
He can't be your best corner. He cannot be. I mean, he could be a solid 3.
You would know. You watched him for
a long
period of time.
And again, he was fine, but he can't be your 1. So yeah, I would go hard in the paint after a corner in the top of the second round if I was Arizona.
Now here's my question: if I go to walk the mock, do I have to
fill out the first round before you can move on? Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But getting Marvin Harrison and Darius Robinson in the first round was a hell of a start to the draft, and today is going to be. You got 4 picks today. I had forgotten. I had 3 in the third round and 1 in the second. Did Arthur Blank make the Penix pick?
I can't imagine he did.
He doesn't have a history of doing that, does he?
He's not known for it.
I mean, maybe Matt Ryan, but that was kind of a no-brainer. If you didn't, I was going to fire you if you didn't take Matt Ryan back in that 2008 draft. No. Yeah, was it 8? Okay, all right, good for me. Hit that one blindly. I know. You know who made the Michael Penix pick? Satan. Satan made that pick, and he's trying to punish all Atlanta Falcons fans.
I can't imagine being a Falcon fan today. I really can't.
No, they're not okay. You should call and check on them, because they're not okay. Nick says he wants credit, and we give credit where credit is due for calling that the Jags were going to pass on Terry and Arnold, and they did. They did twice. Mm-hmm. So good for you. Good for you getting that right.
Now, it's not that they took another corner. They took a different position, which was always in the realm of possibility. Mm-hmm. And I like what Jacksonville did, by the way. I feel like a lot of that was crap with the injury risk and things like that.
Kelvin Joyner says sleeping in your car in Detroit is a rite of passage.
I feel like it should be. I feel like it really it helps my street cred in the media game that I have slept in a car in Detroit.
Yep. Jackass says Wilson or Cooper at 50, and Kyron
Amagaji.
What was it?
I'm never sending you the pronunciation guide again.
I can't get away from it.
Because you just care way too much how these guys' names are actually pronounced.
Amagaji. Hey, it's just a respect thing.
Yeah.
Learn how to say their name. Stop calling them Favre and Zappy and Tunyon.
Hey, you want to know how to fix that? Spell your damn name right. If you spelled your name right, I wouldn't have this problem. So there's that.
Please trade down in the mock and go tackle or wide receiver from Tyson Carter here.
Yeah, Carter's
who's that
New England fan.
He wants New England. Oh, that's for New England. All right. Yeah, throw your team in there. Just kind of like put an NE in there so I know.
No, I know who pulls. If you've been here for a while, I probably have figured out who pulls it.
Colin Greene says Dallas Turner to the Vikings doesn't sit right, but I'm glad that he didn't go to the Saints. I thought Dallas Turner, Jesus, that is annoying.
Yeah,
that's a lot. How are we doing that?
I don't know. Nobody cares about fans' reaction. Hey, oh, look at it. We got a pick. Let me scream in the camera.
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome.
Good for you.
You should stop doing that.
What were we talking about?
I
forgot what player we were even talking about.
I've sat here blindly trying to remember who Miami took for about the last 30 seconds, and I finally just tapped out and had to look.
He's trying to do it
I
off the noggin.
could not remember who they took.
Just trying to do it off the dome piece.
Well, here's the thing. I got to 20 with the trade.
William Workman says Panthers go JPJ in the second, Edgerrin Cooper in the third. What would you think of those top three picks when you add those to Xavier Legette?
I would be. If Carolina gets JPJ early tonight, there's not much they could do later that I'm going to be upset by.
And then if you could add Edgerrin Cooper after that,
that'd be sweet.
That would be just.
It's also not necessary, but it would be nice.
It's not necessary
for me to be happy with what you've done.
Okay, I was going to say that feels kind of necessary. If that's there, I think I'm going to need.
If it's there, it would be lovely. But for me to be happy with what you've done, you don't have to.
You don't have to do much more. I'm just not sure if I'm sold that Xavier Legette is going to be the star worth having that fifth-year option on. Now, you don't have a problem that you did it, and I understand why you did it. It's just I'm not sure that's the one I would have gone with.
I liked the kid, and I know they liked it. So,
but did you personally like the kid?
You're the one that was just pounding the table saying, "Go get your guy." That was their guy. They've made that perfectly clear.
That's your guy. Go get it. Go get it. I'll respect the decision for that. I'd just like to hear more about.
You like A.D. Mitchell more?
I do like him. What are the chances? Oh, super chat from GG Gambling. What are the chances that the Rams take Sanders, Corum, Fisher, Kingsley in the second round?
Corum, I would say 0. I don't think a running back's going in the second round. Mm-hmm. If they do, it's Jonathan Brooks and the Cowboys.
So that's Jatavian Sanders?
Jatavian Sanders, maybe. I think he's more likely to go in the third round. Who are the others? Kingsley, Suamatea. I doubt he falls that far. I don't think Suamatea makes out of the first 10 picks tonight.
And Fisher.
Now, Blake Fisher could do it. Blake Fisher would make sense. I think it's a little high. I'm not as high on him as some others. But
yeah. All right, there you have it. You can throw in your questions, comments into the YouTube chat. If I missed one, just throw it in there again. It gets lost in the shuffle on my computer here, and you guys know I struggle with keeping track of scrolling screen.
And I'm loading the picks from last night to get to.
Yes, we're going to do the mock draft here in just a moment once it's all prepped up by Jeremy. Another question here.
Bills receive 95.
Brad Holmes is a god. I agree.
Pretty smart dude.
I agree with that. All right. That
was another phenomenally good call of mine. Brad Holmes he's good for his own football.
He is indeed. They have really reinvigorated a dying fan base.
They were invigorated last night.
There were a
bajillion of them here last night.
257,000 people was the approximate estimation on the amount of people that packed downtown Detroit last night for that party. And everyone, every person that lives here, every native that I have talked to says that this is the happiest this town has been, maybe ever, at least in the modern era, that they have something to pull for, that the Lions are finally good. And now you've hosted this event. From what I have heard, no problems, let me put it that way. I've heard no security issues, no major disruptions last night, nothing.
I'm shocked at how light traffic's been. I'm going to talk about that forever.
Yeah, it's been
shocking.
Yeah,
it's been shocking.
That's been a little shocking. But things apparently flow when you understand where you're going. There are a boatload of one-way streets around this town that you turn one way, they close.
A lot of places to get.
They had us boxed in earlier. They had 7 streets closed in one direction, and I went, okay, I'm stuck in a box. I don't know how to get out of here.
There's a lot of places to get lost around here.
Okay, there's that.
All right, so I guess it's mock draft time.
All right.
Gonna be a mock draft.
Cool deal. William Workman says that anybody else wants to do a mock PFF has them up, and they have the first round filled in for you already.
Well, that would have been good.
That would have been
about.
Yep.
It's okay.
Fun to know. It's okay. I want to see if I can get up in there. First pick.
I got
to
record it.
Right.
All right. Ready?
You want me to play some music or something?
No,
hit the roll.
No, it's fine.
Oh, we didn't do it. Okay, it's time for the second round mock draft here in the Sportsocracy. Number one pick in the second round belongs to the Buffalo Bills.
It does. I have heard that they were planning on going double up on wide receiver. If you look at the guys left, you've got A.D. Mitchell, Ladd McConkey, Keon Coleman, Troy Franklin. Which one do you think Buffalo would, if you leaned to one, which one would it be?
Mitchell.
My only thing with A.D. Mitchell is if you really liked him, why did you not take him? Why did you trade down twice?
Yeah, and we're not doing what we want to do. We're doing what we think they will do. So do you think that they intentionally passed on him, or did they just feel like nobody's going to take him?
I do. No, I feel like if they were in love with him, they would have already taken him.
Yep.
I don't think they're in love with anybody, which makes me think they probably trade down. I know they've gotten calls because seemingly every year we get trades here. Just looking at who they had in, they had Keon Coleman in on a top 30 visit. They also had Cooper DeJean in, who has not been picked yet. Mm-hmm. I would say if they actually make this pick, it would be one of those two. I just don't know which one. They did talk to A.D. Mitchell at the combine, but did not have him in on the top 30.
Okay. The number 2 pick in the second round.
Well, we got to actually make a pick.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I said if they actually made the pick, I think it would be Keon Coleman or Cooper DeJean.
Okay, we'll make a pick.
I'm not so sure that I actually think they're going to pick that.
Okay.
If somebody was going to trade up, I don't necessarily think you're trading up for Johnny Newton. You know what? I'm not going to do trade ball.
No trade?
Yeah, I'm not going to do trade.
Okay.
They're too hard to project.
Okay.
So I'll take who I think they would take, which would be Keon Coleman.
Fair enough. Anybody?
I mean, I know there will be trades tonight. I'm well aware.
Of course, there will be trades tonight,
but I'm not projecting.
And this pick could be part of that.
No doubt. I know they've gotten calls.
Well, and see, this is the part where Buffalo and New England, and I would say, yeah, just mainly those two at this point would be calling everybody, or all of these teams that have a stud wide receiver that's available. Brandon Ayuk.
I don't think they.
T. Higgins.
Why would I
we're making the call?
But why would I do that? Why would I not just take a receiver? There's like 6 of them left on the board.
Is there a T. Higgins left? Is there
Okay, so which would I rather have? A.D. Mitchell at $4 million for the next 4 years, or T. Mitchell or T. Higgins at 30? I'm taking the young guy.
Okay.
I might miss, but I also don't know that T. Higgins can be a 1. But I think he can be a 1. We've never seen it.
But do I want to take the risk that I'm going to have to wait for him to develop? If I'm Buffalo, I need to win now.
Well, Buffalo's not getting T. Higgins is not going to Buffalo.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm Cincinnati, why the hell would I help a team that's got an elite quarterback? Brandon Ayuk, maybe. For me, I don't know how Buffalo would pay him. Now, you're going to have to give a guy $30 million. You're absolutely crushed against the cap.
Right.
So that doesn't really make sense to me.
Right. New England, to me, same thing. Get your new quarterback a toy to play with it, too.
I'm going to give them a toy, but it's going to be a young, cheap toy, and his name's Troy Franklin. I've had him penciled in for New England for about as long as I can remember, because the fit there just makes a lot of sense. They had him in for a top 30 visit as well. If I had to take a stab at who the others would be, New England's a weird team that they don't tend to bring in the early targets. Most of their guys tend to be later. If I was going to take a shot in the dark, I wouldn't be stunned if they drafted Kingsley Tuipulotu. Just one to keep under your hat.
Okay. The Arizona Cardinals at 35.
I want it to be Johnny Newton, but you already took a defensive tackle, so I don't necessarily think that's the direction they would go. I'm questioning how bad the medical on Cooper DeJean was, and thinking that this early, I probably don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. So I'll go Kool-Aid and Kingsley.
$36 is the Washington Commanders.
Washington has the power to just absolutely crush this draft because they have so many picks, mm-hmm. and they have so many guys that inlay well to what they need. I drafted a quarterback. I feel like I still need to help my offensive line, but I also have to have a defense that's competent. Where would you go for Washington?
Cornerback.
So you would take DeJean?
Yeah, I would.
Even though you have no pass rush?
Yeah. Is there one that we're wild about here, though?
Well, I mean, they pick again at 4 picks, so not necessarily.
Right.
I guess I'm just looking at Kingsley Suamataia going, I like that. I like DeJean. I like a lot of things for Washington. That's kind of what I was talking about. I don't really feel like you can screw this up.
Right. With so many options. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I drafted a young corner last year. Still got Benjamin St. Juste, who's still a young guy. Got Quan Martin last year, too, that's playing out the slot. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'll take Kingsley Suamataia.
Okay. So you're going to have some protection for your quarterback.
Get a left tackle, probably look to add a receiver later.
So that puts the Chargers on the clock.
This is easy for me because I had them trading back in the first round to take this guy, and I think they'll happily take him right here. It's Chris Jenkins.
And what was it you liked about him so much?
That he played for Jim Harbaugh. And they've been attached to each other the entire draft process. Right. It was just a question of where would you have to take him. I mean, if you remember, I was all aboard the hype train that the Chargers were going to wind up taking T'Vondre Sweat.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. But I could easily see it being Chris Jenkins.
Okay. Chris Jenkins added to the Chargers at number 37. Number 38, this is the Tennessee Titans. You went J.C. Latham in the first round. And you still need some defensive help. You could use another wide receiver.
You still use a left tackle, too.
Well, there is that.
I mean, if it were up to me, I'd be taking a left tackle, but I think Washington just took the last one right in front of them. Let's see, who did Tennessee bring in?
It's hard for me to say no to Johnny Newton or Peyton Wilson here.
Ooh, they did bring in T'Vondre Sweat. Still think this might be a little early. They brought in a bunch of corners. I mean, is this where you go Cooper DeJean? I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean,
maybe.
But you added L'Jarius Sneed
and a Woozy, and you. Well, I mean, you spent some draft capital on corners recently, but none of them have been good. Because you still got Caleb Farley and Tay Gowan. That didn't go the way you wanted it to, did it? No. You were really high on him.
No,
weren't you?
No.
Really? I'm thinking he was one that you were high on in that draft.
They're playing like my favorite song of all time, so I had to.
Were you zoned out listening to the music?
I was.
I'm just staring at this depth chart for the Tennessee Titans going, I could use a player on any level of that defense. I'm just taking whoever the best is available right now. And to me, it's Cooper. Cooper or Johnny. Then just flip a coin. Because I don't think you could screw it up.
I'm leaning to Johnny. I think that's probably the path I go.
You're going to put him in the middle right next to Jeffrey Simmons?
No. It's a 3-4 team. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I could slide Sebastian Joseph to the end. Yes. I don't want to do that, but I could. God, Tennessee's difficult. I keep coming back to your line sucks. By the way, Nick Petit-Frere, we talked about him yesterday.
Yeah.
His PFF grade last year was a 35.5.
Is that good?
I think you get a 50 for being clinically alive.
High score to break it.
I'm going to take Johnny Newton. I keep coming back to that, and it
good pick.
Feels like
good pick. Golf clap for that one. Number
and
39.
Alex, by the way, Alex asked, this is what we think will happen, not what we would do. I would have taken A.D. Mitchell quite some time ago, but seems like the industry's telling me that that's not going to happen, at least not this early.
Number 39 is the Carolina Panthers' next pick.
Jackson Powers Johnson, don't think about it. Didn't even think about it, ran to the podium. I mean, I would like that line at that point. Would you still
would like
have Ika Mequano on the left side, which I don't love. I'm watching the Caleb Williams interview from last night. I was on the other side of that curtain. Yes, doing that.
Yeah,
that's just wild to me.
Actually, looking at it now too, I'm gonna agree with you. You put JPJ in the middle of that line, and I'm gonna like it. Damian Lewis, I know you didn't like the money that they spent on Damian Lewis.
No.
But it's a scheme fit, familiarity with the head coach and the scheme and everything. Robert Hunt from the Miami Dolphins.
That one I love.
That was a good one. And you still have Taylor Moton, who is the tried and true of that offensive line. And then Icom.
And Icom is
you still need some depth here, but
Icom is the
I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe later in the draft we'll spend a pick on another tackle at some point. The Washington Commanders at 40.
I don't feel like Cooper just needs to fix that damn thing, but
okay. So no scheme fit in the secondary for him.
I don't think so. When did I pick?
But then you have Sanders
still,
excuse me.
Yeah, but he's a slot guy.
Jatavian Sanders.
Little early.
Braden Fiskey.
Tackle.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a guy that I know Washington likes. I feel like this is too early, but this is what I think they're going to do.
Okay.
So, Marshawn Nealon. I know they like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Walter Mott does not.
No.
I had to scroll a great deal to find him, which is stupid.
Marshawn Nealon was
he was really popular. He was getting first round hype.
I mean, yeah, he was so dominant at Western Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
which is why I think a lot of sites don't give him the credit because he was at Western Michigan. But he's an athletic freak.
Mm-hmm.
He's fun to watch. Green Bay Packers at 41.
This is where I go Cooper DeJean.
There you go.
It's been too long, and
that's
the injury risk is what it is.
Right.
At this point, I think you just have to. Now the Houston Texans are on the board.
PFF is the biggest needs a wide receiver.
That's the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard. Biggest needs a wide receiver. I've got Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Noah Brown, Nico Collins.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They
might have the best receiving core in the league.
Just give him A.D. Mitchell and let's call it quits.
My God, they might have the best receiving core in the league.
Hey, how about Peyton Wilson? With D'Amico Ryan.
They're pretty invested in linebacker, though.
Are they? Okay.
Well, I mean, they took Christian Harris in the second round. They just signed Al Shahir.
Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now, Henry To'o was not particularly good last year, but
still young.
He's still young.
Still got a lot of room to grow, but I mean, maybe you wanted to add another piece for depth there in the linebacking core.
You know what? To'o was not particularly good.
Mm-hmm. You said, you know what, like you wanted to make a pick there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Peyton Wilson.
Okay.
You were right. The more I thought about it, To'o, it'd be a depth spot. And I look at how good that linebacking core would be with Peyton Wilson. First of all, they could. Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, with him and
Christian Harris.
And Aziz Al-Shahir.
Aziz Al-Shahir.
Yeah.
That would be the fastest linebacking core in the history of the NFL.
Yep. Flying all over the place. Here's the Atlanta Falcons at number 43. Do they need a punter?
Oh, hell yeah. You know what? Let's take Spencer Rattler right here. All right, so for when Michael Penix, because we're taking quarterbacks for when our current quarterbacks retire and shit, by the time Michael Penix gets in a game, he'll be 42 years old.
Oh, you know what? Michael Penix, he's from Atlanta, isn't he?
Is he?
Didn't he play in Atlanta at some point?
I don't believe so.
I heard that at some point.
Penix is from Tampa. He's a Florida guy.
Okay. All right. I thought he was from the Atlanta area. I was going to say maybe Terry Fontenot's under the impression that this is still 1940 and this is a regional draft and he just has to take everybody close that lives close to where he's at. What is your next need for them?
Well, I mean, it'd be the same thing that was last night because they took players they didn't need.
They didn't do it. They took the last need they needed.
Literally,
yeah.
They literally took. God, I wish we had a Brian Haynes that was a Falcons fan. Last night would have been a hoot. I mean, their top 30 visits don't even make any sense. Oh, where am I going with Atlanta here?
Give them Enos Rakestraw.
That's actually one of the names I was thinking about. I feel like they need an edge, but you didn't take one, and there's just not one really that makes a ton of sense. Not at this
position. You'd be reaching on a Chris Braswell.
That would probably be the next one. I feel like this is where you should make up for last night and just take A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Agreed.
I'm going to take A.D. Mitchell. Try to make up for your absolute dog water pick last night with a gift for Kirk Cousins. So I'll go A.D. Mitchell to top.
Okay, and here comes the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, there's no quarterback for you to take here because I ain't taking Spencer Rattler. What is this, 40?
No, we're not. Don't do that. That'll be one of those I'll be happy to be wrong on. Just let them do it.
feel like I need to take a corner here. It's just a question of which one. Is there one that's a... They didn't specifically talk to any of the high-end corners that are left. I'm trying to think about the... I mean, it's corner of the position you would go with.
Yeah, I would take a corner or a linebacker.
Edgerrin Cooper would make a lot of sense.
Because right now they're running
Divine Satan. Old Divine Satan, man. Got Divine Satan playing linebacker.
Robert Spillane.
I like
Luke
Spillane.
Masterson.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take Edgerrin Cooper. I think it's a good call.
That way it gives us some young guy, some young development.
He's got that Raider mentality too, which I'm a pretty big fan.
Yeah, Antonio will like him. So Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M, goes to the Las Vegas Raiders at number 44. 45, the New Orleans Saints. And I mean, you got to get a weapon. You got to get a weapon for your new quarterback.
New Orleans? What new quarterback?
Oh, I did that thing where I'm thinking of. I saw Sean Payton's face and went, oh yeah, I was thinking Denver.
Colin Greene says it's Fisky or Sweat. Colin's been just absurdly accurate
about the Saints.
Yes,
he should be. He always is. I think we've learned this throughout the process.
That's what I was talking about. Tank's already wearing out. He's going to need a nap in the car because he basically just reiterated exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
I can't go Fisky because him and Brian Breathe are so close to the same player.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go Sweat. Seemingly everybody in the chat said Devondre Sweat. So I'll go Devondre Sweat.
Okay.
And I would love that, by the way. That would mean the Saints got two of my favorite players in this class. Oh, I'll go ahead and tell you, Walkermont's not. Oh, no, they like him. There you go. Look at you. He's at 63 instead of 195 like PFF.
I was going to say, I'm still looking for him on the PFF.
Oh, he's 121, I think.
21.
I think he's 121, which is stupid. Oh, he got a DUI. He's falling in the fifth round. I'll bet you a damn dollar he does. Okay, that brings us to the Indianapolis Colts.
At number 46.
Okay, you took Leatu Latu last night, which I like a lot. We have not talked about that today, but I like that a lot. It just got super quiet in here.
Yeah, the stream. The stream. Of the television has frozen.
Now everyone can hear us.
Now it's just real
because
quiet.
We're the only people talking in this room.
Lad McConkey's on the board here.
He's a hat on a hat, though, with Josh Downs. They both play out slot.
Give me another wide receiver.
See, I'm looking at corner.
Downs is more of a field stretcher, though, I thought.
He is, but it's really hard to have two slot receivers like that in the system.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a corner. It's just best. I'm going to go Kamari last. I would take him in that defense. I would take him over Ingles.
Oh, good. Maybe he'll be the Georgia corner that will pay off for the Indianapolis Colts.
Rakestraw's just such a grabby.
Yeah, I feel like he's just a walk-in penalty. Although Kamari, he can
Well, Kamari's biggest knock is that he's not overly fast, but he's really good at that.
Mm-hmm. What did I say? But he can do that too.
He can.
He's not one of those that I normally would yell at during a game. But that was a moment. Number 47 pick belongs to the New York Giants.
This is a team that I feel like should just take the best player available because they need everything. Let's go ahead and tell you, I will take Spencer Rattler in this, not because I want to, but because how stupid we went on quarterbacks last night, that there's almost no shot he doesn't go at some point tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this almost gets into the question of how stupid it is.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
What's the biggest need they have?
I would say offensive line.
Who plays running back right now for the New York Giants? Who is the starting running back in the New York Giants?
Wayne Gallman.
That's a deep shot.
Thank you.
Devin Singletary.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that. I don't think you can wait and get Trey Benson. I mean, you got to have a weapon of some kind.
Yeah.
Out of the backfield. Because look, at -6 games last year for the Houston Texans, Devin Singletary has sucked on ice forever. So, I mean, I struggle to believe a team's going into the year with only that.
Yeah.
Tim Raymond said Jalen Wright. Is Jalen Wright going to be the first running back off the board?
I don't
wouldn't
think so. I mean, I know a lot of scouts or you know, analysts are pleased with him because he's so damn fast.
Well, and you know, that makes me think I don't have to take a running back here because I think I can get Jalen Wright. When's the next pick for the Giants? 3-6. Yeah, I can get Jalen Wright with that next pick. I think I can get him the first few picks, and he's actually a better fit than Trey Benson.
Okay. So passing on a running back. Zach Frazier.
He took John Michael Smith last year. God, he was bad.
Can he not play guard?
Not know he was that bad.
Can Zach Frazier not play guard?
Yes, he can.
Over Aaron Stinney?
Yeah. Over John Runyon, who they paid money to.
Is that the pick? Or are you still thinking? Don't let me pressure you.
It's not your pressure, man. Yeah, you know what, Zach Frazier. Because I think he can come in and play guard.
Yeah.
And it gives you a little backup if John Michael Schmitz is a damn dog baby like he was last year.
48, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I feel like Enos Rakestraw is the right answer. It's either him or TJ Tampa. Oh. Which one do I like better? Be great if they had one of these guys in the building to like break the tie for me.
Did they talk to TJ Tampa?
They talked to Rakestraw at the combine. They talked to Tampa at the combine. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Tyson Campbell. He's the one. Okay. TJ Tampa from Iowa State. Goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, this one's real damn easy.
Okay.
Took Amarius Mims in the first round. That was a guy that Evan Doyle had talked about them liking.
Yep.
A guy that I talked about them liking is Braden Fiskey, and he's still on board. So
there you go.
There we go.
Love it when a plan comes together.
Love it when a plan comes together.
Main streak on that defensive line. Dig it. Number 50, the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles have 2 of the next 4 picks right here.
And if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you're just accumulating talent.
Yeah, you already got the best corner in the class.
I saw Quinion Mitchell last night as we were leaving the media room.
I said that while you were.
He looks he looked quite happy.
He looked much happier than he did on television.
Much happier. Maybe he was still, he was. Never mind.
He was digesting it.
He was digesting.
I feel like Philadelphia needs a linebacker. Both the two that are worth taking here are already gone. Is it crazy to think they could take Tyler Newman?
No. It is not crazy. Because they've been playing rotator with CJ. But actually, CJ just signed a 3-year deal with him, I think.
Yeah, but CJ plays out the slot.
Yeah.
In nickel.
Yeah. That's the hybrid safety role.
I don't think we've had an Eagle fan chime in with
I wouldn't go
who I should take here.
Huh.
No, we got Bob Brown. I didn't see him at first.
So many options already on this roster. It's hard for me to pinpoint where they would want to throw more depth at it.
Well, the thing is, they're switching. Bob's got a point. They're switching to the 3-4. But I feel like they're very well equipped to do that.
Yep.
They just need a linebacker so friggin' bad. I mean, could it be Junior Colson?
Why do they need a linebacker?
Because none of the ones they have are any good.
Okay.
I don't know what you're laughing about there. I know you have this fixation of Devin White's really talented, and he is. The only problem is that he has the instincts of a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
He has the instincts of, hey, I have this fork. Maybe I should stick it in this life pocket.
So you're looking at what, just an inside linebacker to give him?
That was my thought.
Okay. Because, on their depth chart, they got Nakobe Dean and Devin White.
Yep. And
then it goes, 6 more deep after that?
Yeah, and all of them
Brandon
suck.
Smith, Ben Van Sneren. I don't even know who that is.
I'm really not worried about a guy whose analysis from you was, I don't even know who the hell that guy is. Last year, how many linebackers in the NFL were worse than Devin White? 82 that qualified.
Yeah, I'd say like 4 or 5.
It's 2.
Yeah,
it's too high. It's 2.
Yeah. It was a bad year.
Nakobe Dean's hard.
It's a bad year, and he played himself into the doghouse and got sent home. It wasn't a great year.
It was not. Philadelphia's a pain in my ass because they have so many pass rushers.
Mm-hmm. So you should give them Ladd McConkey.
I don't hate that.
They do love Georgia players, and currently your slot receiver is Devontae Parker.
I don't hate that. You know what? Oh no! You know what? The right calls, Junior calls. The more I started thinking, I thought that's the right call.
Okay.
I mean, Philly fans will be sad because it's not Jeremiah Trotter, but he doesn't fit your team at all.
51.
This has to be Ladd McConkey, right?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
You lost Deontay Johnson. You don't have the guy playing out of the. That feels like a spot for Ladd McConkey.
That's a Ladd McConkey spot.
Okay, the Rams, fresh off taking Jared Verse last night.
Tyler Newman.
Edgerrin Cooper's gone. Slider. He went. Who did he go to? The Raiders. Oh, the Los Angeles Lions. I love that they took Jared Verse last night. I will say this: I hate that they're the tightest-lipped organization in the damn league. Most teams we have 40, 50 players they talk to. Right. The Rams, I have 8.
You have 8 of them.
Let's go. I feel like Gigi's going to chime in before he wants to.
Well, they got Tre'Davious White and Darius Williams in the offseason. So we've got secondary playmakers. Safeties are good between Curl and Lake, don't you think?
No, I don't. Actually, as a matter of fact, just you saying that makes me want to click Tyler Nubin just so nobody ever looks at me again and goes, well, we have Quentin Lake and Cam Curl. We're good, right?
No, sir.
I wish there was a lineman that made any form of sense. But there's not.
An offensive lineman or a defensive lineman?
An offensive lineman.
No, Kyron.
A little early. I you know what? I'm gonna take Tyler Nubin. After you said that, now it's stuck in my head of God, your safety sucks.
Right.
And Philadelphia goes, well, no shit, we're back to Philadelphia. 7 hours later. Is it in my head, or is the most? And I was thinking this when we were talking about him earlier. Is Christian Haynes not like the most Eagle player you've ever seen? Like, I just feel like he either ends up with Baltimore or Philadelphia. Not because they have a huge need there, but because that's what they do.
Yeah. I could see that.
I think that's where I'm going to go.
Who did you go for L.A.?
Tyler Nubin. Yeah, I'm going to take Christian Haynes for Philadelphia.
Okay.
And the Cleveland Browns are finally, mercifully, on the clock. Well, unless you have a real dead in the wind. I mean, is there anybody you really like with Cleveland?
No.
If Tavondre Sweat's on the board, I think this is his drop dead spot.
Yeah, but he's not.
I know.
Okay.
I was just talking about for future reference.
Well, I've had it locked in my mind that they were going to go after a defensive tackle.
Well,
as I was scrolling through here, I was looking at the defensive tackles, going, I want a big boy.
Michael Hall.
Michael Hall.
I know they really like him. And, you know, the talent is certainly there. The question is personality with red flags. He's local.
Yeah.
So if anybody's going to have a real good read on him, it would be Cleveland. I'm going to take Michael Hall here for the Cleveland Browns.
That's not a bad call.
Okay, Miami took Chop Robinson. Took Chop Robinson last night. I'm thinking Enos Rakestraw. I'm thinking Enos Rakestraw unless you've got a real pull elsewhere.
Oh, I would love it. Let's do that.
Okay.
Because I just want to hear Brian Hall bitch every Monday about Enos Rakestraw grabbing jerseys all weekend long. Hopefully that can all be coached out of him.
I mean, look, he's got the talent. He's just grabbing.
Oh, no doubt. I told you watching him, that's the only thing that I didn't like. I love aggressive players. I love corners that will come up and smack you in the mouth. But I also need somebody who understands that I can't be on you.
I want to be on.
It's a very important part of being a corner in the NFL is not to do that. And it gets worse and worse and worse every year with the officiating. He is just he's a nightmare as a prospect in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it's all good. Number 56, the Dallas Cowboys.
Jonathan Brooks.
I
didn't even think.
Yeah. Running back out of Texas. Number 1 on the board. And then The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Their team next
Number 57. Oh, man. Well,
got Graham Barton
I got
last
Graham
night.
Barton last night, and it's already a win.
For me, there's no doubt who this pick would be, but I'm not going to say anything. It's your turn.
Let me see.
Although if you get this right, I do reserve the right to mock. So,
if I get it right,
if you get it wrong,
if I get it wrong. Well, I mean, you always mock it.
Correct.
Oh, boy. Braswell. Chris Braswell from Alabama.
There was another acceptable answer, and it was Jeremiah Trotter Jr. But you might. Let's see, your next pick. Yeah, you might be able to pull him off in the third round.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope so.
Okay, the Green Bay Packers already got Jordan Morgan. Already got Cooper DeJean.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like that's a really damn strong start. DNA was talking earlier about who plays linebacker for them. There's not really a linebacker here that makes any sense. It's too high on damn near everybody else. You got anything on Green Bay?
I'm just looking. Do they need another offensive lineman? Do they need more depth on the offensive line?
I mean, everybody needs more depth,
Is
but
that a second round choice?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure it is either.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure what the glaring hole is.
I wish there was a linebacker, and he kind of just not. I mean, unless I reach like hell.
They would definitely be looking at another corner. But
They've already taken Cooper DeJean.
Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they? Well,
it blows my mind how many receivers they talk to.
Well, you can't have enough. I mean, you got four that you really like.
I don't know what. DNA said take Jeremiah Trotter. He actually said 3 times.
Okay.
I feel like on the third time
you should do that.
I mean, my wife would vouch for that. On the third time you tell me something, I might actually listen to you. What the hell is Jeremiah Trotter?
That's what I'm looking at. He's number 96 on PFF.
He's 87 and walking on. Yep, Jeremiah Trotter.
All right, there you go.
I feel like that's a reach, but I wanted a linebacker. I'll be damned if he ain't the only one on the board that's even that you could even justify.
Yeah. Number 59 is the Houston Texans.
They already took Peyton Wilson. I know who I want. It's just a question if I'm. Mike Sanders still is the one I'm looking at. Going, that just makes a ton of sense.
Right.
Miles Bryant is currently. That's what I'm gonna take Sanders still. To Houston.
Okay. Hang on, I got an issue with the log here that I got to fix. So keep talking.
All right, Keon Coleman. I have said for a while that I think they're going to double up at wide receiver, so it's pretty easy for me with this kid having already fallen. I'll take Roman Wilson. And you look at that, I mean, I hate that my team is so young. Yeah, but that's weapon. Okay, the Detroit Lions. I want to go front seven here. It's just a question of who. Whoever it is going to be the mayor of Detroit for a night. Just like Terry and Arnold was last night.
That was good.
That was good. They took the corner. I know they like Nealon. There are about 20 teams that I think could take Marshawn Nealon in the first 25 picks. Nabil Hassan, I hope I said that correctly, said he wanted Rook or Max Melton. Max Melton would have worked as well. Sandra still should not still be on the board there. So that was the reason that I did that. Vincent Collier said Braylon Trice for the Lions. That was one of the names I was looking at. And so you know what? We're nothing if not malleable here. I can happily go Braylon Trice. I think that one actually makes some sense. All right. The Baltimore Ravens took Nate Wiggins last night. Is there a receiver that makes any sense here?
Malachi Corley.
No, but there's another one that does.
Tez Walker.
Jalen McMillan's the one I was thinking of.
Okay. Or Polk.
I like Polk a lot. Well, I mean, Baltimore did have Malachi Corley in on a top 30 visit. I just don't know how did him and Zay Flowers play together.
Very carefully.
Well, I mean, you have two really short receivers there.
Right.
I mean, Flowers does play on the outside. And they need a slot. All right, it's Malachi Corley.
Like it.
It's Malachi Corley.
And he'll be the next one that I waste fantasy back at.
No doubt. San Francisco 49ers took Ricky Pearsall. Sorry, I can't stop seeing that and just immediately laughing. They were really locked into offensive linemen over the process. I don't know which one I would want right here. I mean, you got a lot of choices because you've really kind of backed into the third wave of linemen here. Gotta have somebody that plays in that system. I mean, Patrick Paul makes all the sense in the world to me. That's where I'm gonna go with San Francisco. Patrick Paul. Last pick of the second round, the Kansas City Chiefs got Xavier Worthy last night. They didn't give this pick up to Buffalo, did they? No. They have a third rounder. Yeah. They have a third rounder. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm gonna verify it, but 95. Yep, 95. I just want to make sure I had that right. And so you got the receiver. I feel like they would look to a corner or an offensive lineman. Offensive line. I need a legit tackle if I'm going to take one. Kyron Emigagi. I think you've said his name about 58 times.
I have. He's like the best available tackle on the board.
He is. And that feels like a Kansas City type pick because he would come in there and just all of a sudden be an 8-time Pro Bowler. Mm-hmm. I'll go Kyron Emigagi into the second round right there to the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's a good call.
All right, I need to grab the energy beverage out of my bag because I'm
about to die,
fading.
Because I'm feeling it myself, actually. So, you know, when I go, hey, do you have another one of these, Jeremy? Do you have another one of these somewhere? Of course. What I'm looking for. All right. That whole situation is all covered up. Let's see here. All right. So my little here.
Okay. Rapid fire third round. Trying to knock this out in 20-ish minutes.
All right. Fire away.
Carolina's on the board. Took Xavier Leggett. Took Jackson Powers Johnson. Is there any way they wouldn't take Jatavian Sanders? Or would it be Ben Simmons? I would be remiss if I didn't point out that not every team had Jatavian Sanders in the second best title.
Who are we talking about?
Carolina. They had Sanders in on the top 30.
It'd be Sanders.
I think it is too. I think it is too. That gives you another legit weapon for Bryce Young.
Yeah. And now you can look at those weapons and not really hate them.
Yeah.
With Deontay Johnson in town now.
Okay, Arizona's got Marvin Harrison Jr., Darius Robinson, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Would you double down on Rook here? I feel like they need a nose tackle, which makes me wonder if they would go Mason Smith.
Okay. Is this not a little early for him?
I think it's a little high.
Okay.
But you talk about a position. They had Mason Smith in on top pretty well. That's where I'm going.
Yeah. Let's go.
And it's not that early. I mean, Walk the Mock's got him at 76. This is pick 68.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mason Smith.
Okay. That means the Chargers at 69.
I have Washington.
What am I looking at?
I don't know. You're just looking at the flat-out wrong thing. Third pick of the third round.
Oh, third pick of the third round. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then that's
67, 68, 69.
Okay.
65. Math is hard.
Yeah, this is third pick of the third round at 67.
Yeah, well, see, I get round 3, pick 3, so I don't know what the total is.
I'm looking at this. You said 68, and so I went to 69. Okay, so I was 2 picks ahead of you. Washington at number 67.
They need a tight end. They need a linebacker. So a linebacker, that wouldn't make me want to die.
That's a hell of a way to put that.
It's too early on. I feel like I'm either going Ben Sinnott or I'm taking one of the safeties. Mm-hmm. Although I could take a corner. I just don't know where I'm going to play him. I need an outside corner. Max Melton plays in the slot. Oh, no, I know what I'm doing.
I would like another wide receiver for them.
You prefer another wide receiver or Kyrie Jackson or Cam Hart?
Cam Hart wouldn't be.
Cam Hart would not suck. I think that's where I'm going.
He match that defense?
He does. I'm going Cam Hart.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good with
New England.
They do need a weapon, though, when we come back around next time.
They do.
My 3's Jamison Crowder, and I'm not cool with that.
Oh, let's see. Tyson Carter said the Patriots either take a tackle or a corner here. They already took a tackle, didn't they? Moved away from the screen. Nope, they took Troy Franklin. So if there is a tackle, I don't know if there is not.
You already took Kyron.
Yep.
Brandon Coleman. Blake Fisher.
I don't love Brandon Coleman as much as somebody else does. And he's a guard for me.
Just playing the Bo Nix.
Sorry.
They're playing the Bo Nix thing again on TV.
It never stops being funny. Would you go Roger Rosengarten here for New England?
Yeah, so you'll never have to say his name again.
I think it's a good pick. I think that's a solid pick. I don't know that he's ever going to play the left tackle, but I feel very sure he's going to play up right.
Right.
Okay, that takes us to now we're to the Chargers.
There we go. Number 69.
Blake Corum.
2 Raccoons. Absolutely. You know he's going to do it.
And now here I will take Jalen Wright to the New York Giants. And now we're going to start a hell of a run on running back.
The start of that run with
Blake Corum. Then I go Jalen Wright. Trey Benson will go pretty quickly
to the Arizona Cardinals at 71.
I don't know.
Probably not. You got 5 running backs. They all suck.
Well, they've got James Conner. Notorious B.I.G. said, looks like I'll be playing wide receiver for the Chargers. I mean, you're not wrong. Here would be my question. If the Chargers didn't like what they had at wide receiver, why the hell did they not take Malik Neighbors or Roma Denzel? Mm-hmm. That kind of tells me everything I need to know about where they're thinking. Look, I love Josh Palmer. You already know that. I'm not ready to tap out on Quentin Johnson just yet. And there are a lot of receivers in this draft. They keep talking about wanting to run the ball. You took a tackle early. And the last time I looked, I think Blake Corum was like minus 300 to wind up with the Chargers. Tells me it happened somewhere, and it ain't happening anywhere but here.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a thought on the Cardinals?
Ooh. The Cardinals. I mean, I feel like
there's a name in my head.
I feel like at some point they would play that running back game. I just don't know if it would be here.
I don't think it's here. There's a name in my head.
Tez Walker.
Adisa Isaac is one of them.
Adisa Isaac, okay.
Then you've really addressed that defense. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of young players, but I've added a lot of good talent.
Yeah, but that's what this team's going to be. We've got to do the same build in Arizona that Houston did.
Jets are up here. I know they like Jermaine Burton. I just don't think they're taking him over. I don't think they're taking him over Jalen McMillan or Jalen Poole. So for me, it's either Jermaine Burton or it's Tez Walker. Tez Walker feels very Mike Williams-y to me.
As in how he plays, or
yes. I just feel like they're very similar players. And you put them on the opposite side of each other. I mean, it's fine. I'm. You know what? I keep hearing Jermaine Burton's name with the Jets, and that's from myself. I know he has personality issues.
He does.
I like how I said we do this in 20 minutes, and in 10, I got through 8 picks. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, Dallas Cowboys. Already added Guyton, added running back, Jonathan Brooks. They're a team that needs a linebacker. I just swear there's not one here. There's not one here that makes sense.
What about Louisville?
Too early.
Too early for him. That's the name you've just mentioned a bunch, so I know.
And I do like him. It's just early. I don't really think there's a linebacker that merits going here.
Yeah. Braylon Trice.
He's already gone.
Oh, okay.
He went to Detroit.
Okay.
Dallas. Is there anybody? You said Brandon Coleman a little bit ago. He would make a decent amount of sense. Just not huge on the idea of them adding 2 offensive linemen that early.
Tanner Bortolini.
Buki Watson's another one that I'm not as high on him.
Mookie?
Buki.
Buki.
Nathaniel Watson.
Okay. Let's go, Bookie. Is it Bookie or Bookie?
Could be either one.
I gotta look it up now. I ain't heard that one. I ain't heard that nickname. I think that would just be us coming full circle with the whole gambling thing, is to have a player in the NFL actually named Bookie. What was his last name?
Watson.
A nickname which he shares with his father. So he's Bookie Jr. Awesome. And they're handing down the family racket. That's great. Great stuff. Man, look at that. Got a whole bunch of awards to his belt.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
He's really surged up the process.
Jesus.
I actually think that's what I'm going to take here. This is the first player that Walkmont really just hasn't updated. They have him at 201. That's not accurate.
Yeah.
He will go tonight, I think. Okay, Atlanta. Let's see. Is there a punter here? Torrey Taylor. Got Michael Penix. They got A.D. Mitchell.
Can we draft a janitor?
Well, I mean, they got to have an edge. Got to have an edge. Am I the only one that feels like this is the time that Muhammad Kamara would make sense?
No, you're not.
Muhammad Kamara. All right, the Bears. Already got Caleb Williams, got Rome Dunze. I would like to add a developmental offensive lineman here, if at all. Christian Foster. Or Christian, sorry, I combined two names there. Christian Jones. At this point, I'm so tired, I'm surprised I didn't say Jody Foster. Looks like town. Is there anybody else you would prefer
over Christian Jones? No.
I don't think I would either. Eat and Sleep Football said Jonah Ellis. Austin Booker. Austin Booker's a good.
Did you draft the same too?
Austin Booker's good. That may be where I end up going. They had him in on a top 30 visit. Yep, let's go there. Good call. Mm-hmm. Austin Booker to the Chicago Bears. No, I haven't gone to dinner yet.
Okay.
I don't think it's quite time for him yet. I haven't lost Christian Mahogany yet.
I was following along with you at first, and then I realized I only went second round only, so now I can't follow you into the third round with my mock. So yeah,
sweet.
One of those things. So we're at the Broncos.
Yep.
76.
Oh, this is their first pick since Bo Nix.
Yeah.
The legend of Bo Nix.
Yeah. So the 12th pick in the third round, Denver Broncos need
Jesus.
Need Jesus.
They talk to a lot of edge guys. And I'm curious if they don't take a shot here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to sound so strange when I say this.
Okay.
I'm not sure this isn't where Jalix Hunt was.
Okay. I thought he was a little linebacker, though.
He's not a little anyway.
Okay.
He was a safety. He was a gigantic safety.
Okay. Maybe that's what I'm remembering.
I know they like him. They got him at 169 here. It's just not going to last that long. I think that's where I'm going. Let's go Jalix Hunt right here to the Denver Broncos.
All right.
The Raiders, I trust Trevor Sikkema.
Quarterback.
I'm going Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
I told you I was going to find a place for him. I just don't think it's in the second round. Ugh, Spencer Rattler.
Just in day two.
Okay, Washington. Washington still needs a linebacker. I feel like Cedric Gray and Jamin Davis would play well together. I'm going to go for Washington.
Good
Cedric
pick.
Gray.
Okay.
Atlanta's back up after taking Muhammad Kamara. I do like the idea of them taking the corner. I mean, if you remember, we talked about them taking Quinyon Mitchell for a good bit of time. Mm-hmm. Damn, they talked to a lot of these guys. That's like they had Kalen Bullock in on a top 30 visit. I don't feel like any of the corners necessarily fit right here exactly correctly. Mm-hmm. So I think I will go Kalen Bullock, safety out of USC.
Okay. We're after Atlanta.
I have him and Bullard pretty close to each other.
Is the Cincinnati Bengals at 80.
The Bengals here taking Braden Fiskey, taking Amarius Mims. Where do we go?
Jalen Polk.
I do like the idea of Cincinnati taking a receiver, but I think Jalen McMillan is the one they would take.
Okay. I'm either doing something with T. Higgins or I'm losing him next year.
I would go. I'll go Jalen McMillan here.
81 is the Seattle Seahawks.
Chiefs Nation said if the Broncos draft Kalen King, please send all funeral proceeds to my mother. Thank you. Take Jalen McMillan there to the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'll be honest with you, if I was betting on a player tonight, that's who it would be, and that would be the thing that would be.
Okay.
I've heard those two put together a lot. Seattle first pick since Byron Murphy. They have to have a guard. It's just a question of which one. If there's a tiebreaker here, it'll be anybody that they've had in the building.
Cooper Beebe.
I mean, I don't love him as much as other people do.
Or Cedric
Von Prawn, that was Walter Football's pick for them. I don't like him and Oluwatimi together. They're super similar.
Okay.
I kind of like Christian Mahogany.
Oh, okay.
I'm really, really high on him.
Yes, you are.
All right. Now we're to
Indianapolis.
I feel like they need a tackle. If there's a living, breathing one on the board, and there is, Christian Jones.
And I thought you just took him.
No.
Okay.
I considered it. I didn't do it.
We'll do it now.
Little run here on offensive tackles because I'm probably going to take one with
the Rams.
I'll probably take one of the Rams because I got Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame. Steelers have gone Fautano, McConkey. I will take corner here. Oh. There's two that I really like.
Yeah, Beermaster says Cooper Beebe. Beebe or Pooney.
He said he would take Beebe over Pooney.
And he said Beebe or Pooney in a heartbeat. Either one of them.
Oh, I thought that said over.
No.
Let's see. Pittsburgh, have they had either Kyrie Jackson or that Kinley Jackson? No Kyrie Jackson.
Are they an organization where that matters?
What?
Because I know a lot of
It doesn't really matter to anybody.
I was going to say we have noticed, there are some teams they'll just take guys because they're on the board, despite the fact that they didn't have them in for a meeting. But are there other organizations that do stick to the list more than others?
Some more than others. That's who I was looking for. Andrew Phillips. He shouldn't still be here, so I'll take Andrew
Kentucky.
Phillips. Yeah, and he's risen up the board here lately.
Okay.
All right.
Pittsburgh Steelers then hand off to the Cleveland Browns.
Been a lot of talk about Greg Newsome possibly getting traded out of there. I don't buy that. Already added Michael Hall. It'd be nice if there was I'm an Earl. You know what? They added Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
And it took me off of the Tez Walker.
Okay.
I always liked the fit there.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think Jerry Jeudy changes that much. I think he's a lottery ticket, but I want an extra bite at the apple. So I'll go Tez Walker there to the Cleveland Browns.
Okay. And then the Houston Texans.
Houston Texans, who have already taken Peyton Wilson and Mike Sandra still. Feels like a Jaden Hicks spot. Texans in the third would like to get Cade Stover or Trey Benson. I think Trey Benson. I already took Trey Benson, didn't I?
Did you? In the run on running back?
I thought so. Nope, I didn't. You know what? For our buddy Nabil Hassan, we'll give you Trey Benson.
Trey Benson.
Because I don't buy that much into. I mean, Joe Mixon's fine,
but
it's not a long-term solution.
And Damian, he could be gone.
Damian Pierce, I've heard, will be gone this weekend.
Okay.
I don't know to who. You talk about a flame that shined really bright. It just didn't shine for really long. Okay, Dallas Cowboys. They've already taken Tyler Guyton, Jonathan Brooks, and Buki Watson. We're almost there. We can get all the picks on the screen. Wide receiver makes a lot of sense. It's just a question of which one. Let's see if they've had anybody in that I would take over anybody else. Notorious B.I.G. said if I'm Dallas, I'd go Dorless or Javon Solomon. You're getting no argument.
I was just staring at Brandon Dorless.
Dorless would make sense.
Thinking that defense says, we want to continue to add pressure, continue to add pieces on that defensive line.
Dorless would make sense. You know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Brandon Dorless.
A little depth piece there. At 88, the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, God. Green Bay's a pain in the nose. Because every time they come up, I'm like,
So who have we already taken?
Oh, let's see. Jordan Morgan, Cooper DeJean, Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Offensive line depth.
I was thinking of safety personally,
but that's safety. Could, yeah. That's not a bad place to add.
Javon Bullard.
Ooh.
One of your Georgia guys.
Yes, sir. And that's a pick you'll be happy with for a moment.
All right, your Bucks. Graham Barton, Chris Braswell, and then
What does the board look like? Like your best available?
Nabil Hassan said, "Just want to let you know we appreciate all the draft work. Hey, we appreciate you watching it. We never thought anybody would ever want us to want to watch us, and now we're sitting here in the media room of the NFL draft by ourselves."
Mm-hmm. I know we have talked about tight ends. There have been meetings at One Buck Place over drafting a tight end.
And Mike Baker's right. There would be teams looking to trade up for Max Melton, including the Chiefs. I'm just not doing trades in this. Is it crazy for me to think that your team would take Jalen Polk here?
No, it is not crazy at all. I don't think it is. I was trying to see if we had a tight end that we had in the building that we were crazy over.
Ben Sinnott would be the next one, and he'll probably go before this is all over. I'm giving y'all Jalen Polk.
Okay.
I don't know why I like that fit so much.
We had Tip Ryman in on a top 30.
It's too early.
Tyke Smith. Is it too early for him?
No, that's about right. Back Satisfied Browns fan said Jalen Polk should be off the board. So the reason he's not is in the last handful of days, I've had a bunch of people tell me Jalen McMillan's going to end up going over him because teams are afraid he's not going to be able to separate at the next level. So I pushed him down my board a little bit. I may have gone too far. I pushed damn near every receiver down.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them. But you're probably right. You probably should have been on that one.
Cade Stover was a tight end that they had met with.
I don't like Cade Stover as much as everybody else seems to. I'm just not as high on him as everybody else seems to. Mm-hmm. There's a name I have with the Cardinals. But, yep, there's a reason because I had put it in my notes of if he's there. Max Melton to the Cardinals, right here with 3 and 26. Yep. Oh, Green Bay's up again. My God, how many picks do y'all have? Green Bay's going to pick 100 times tonight.
At 91 or 28? Is that where you're at?
27. 327. What did DNA say earlier? Zach Zinter is an interesting pick for them because he would basically go into mothballs for a year.
Could be.
Yeah, I think I like that. Let's go Zach Zinter. That was from DNA Tooth podcast. Who is a Packers fan? Ooh. Good God, where is that Zinter? No way. Shane Steichen should never not have a hat on.
Oh, wow.
He looks like if the penguin and Tank had a child, it would be Shane Steichen. Dude, go put a hat on right now. I don't care that you're wearing a suit. Go put a hat on.
Not a good look. You look like Steve Buscemi and Bob Odenkirk had a baby.
Not bad either.
Yeah, he is definitely if you bought Saul Goodman on Wish. That's what Shane Steichen looks like. Okay,
thanks, man.
Appreciate you. Last call for hot food.
I think we were the only ones that ate it in the first place.
We were, just about.
BRS asked if we see Michael Pratt getting drafted tonight and by who. I do.
You do?
I do. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of teams have him ahead of. He's their 7. He's my 7. It's just the Rattler thing with the Raiders has been pretty loud.
L.A. Rams.
That one makes sense.
L.A. Rams. I could see that.
All right, your Bucks are back up.
Oh,
Who was the one you wanted a minute ago?
I was just mentioning that they had met with Cade Stover, but we had, who was the one that, Tyke Smith? We apparently had him in, they met with him at the Combine, also had him in on a top 30.
Yeah, you go Tyke Smith. Baltimore Ravens have Nate Wiggins, Malachi Corley. This might be the easiest pick I've had so far. Rook or Rutrow.
Rutrow. Rutrow.
Because that's what Baltimore does. They just sit in place and go, hey, best player on the board.
Yep.
And again.
Yep.
And again.
Yep.
And again.
Good call.
Let's see. Tim Raymond said Rook or Dwayne Carter to the 49ers. Kinlaw and Armstead are going. Well timed because the 49ers are up, and you took the words right out of my mouth because I was going Dwayne Carter. Dwayne Carter to the 49ers. We have mercifully only got 6 picks left. Okay, Buffalo can finally take a player that's not a wide receiver. This is Jaden Hicks. Feels like a really good pick for them here. They're killed at safety now. Jacksonville Jaguars. They've gone Brian Thomas, TJ Tampa. And on the board here, God, there's so many guys that it feels like they should not still be on the board.
Do they need a D tackle?
Well, they made the Armstead.
Look at Armstead, yeah. They got
Um,
Armstead, Roy Robertson, Harris, and Devon Hamilton. Adam Gotsis is also there, so can't forget him.
You know,
That's a Mason Smith spot.
a guy that Mason Smith has been.
Oh, did we do that?
A guy that they met top 30 that I've heard a few times that it would be a pairing to watch out for is Ben Simmons. So that's where I'm going to go there.
Okay.
Because Evan Ingram couldn't block me. So having somebody that at least does have the ability to put a hat on him. Ben Simmons right there. Jacksonville.
Yep.
4 picks left. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, the Rams, and Washington, and then we're going to get out of here and
Take a
get
little
some
break.
air.
Cincinnati Bengals, number 97 overall.
Oh. Cooper Beebe feels like the right call here. They need a guard badly.
Well, I'm surprised he's still on your board.
I'm not. It's so hard for me to find a place for him. I know he's going to go in the top 100. I just don't know where.
Yeah. Okay.
Pittsburgh, who's gone Fautano, McConkey, Andrew Phillips. I would really like to get a D lineman of some kind for them. Name that makes some sense. Evan Doyle said, "Baby, please." And Bill Buttigieg said, "This defensive class is a shit smoothie," and that is my new favorite term in the history of words. That is a shit smoothie. I'm going to go McKinley Jackson here because for whatever reason, I've had him pegged to Pittsburgh the whole time. If anybody get the most out of him, it would be them.
Yep.
He was a top 5 recruit when he came out, and he just never played that way.
6'2", 300 and what that?
He's a house 332, I think.
325 is what this is.
He's a house. 2 picks left. The Rams have gone Jared Verse, Tyler Newman, Blake Fisher.
Pratt.
Yeah.
Give him Michael Pratt.
Yeah, they've been attached to quarterbacks the entire process. Look at Michael Pratt out of Tulane, who if I was going to take any quarterback that wasn't the top 5, that would have been one. I actually considered putting him ahead of Bo Nix in my final rankings, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Really?
Okay, and the final pick of the tonight mock draft. And no, before anybody asks, I will not be doing a day 3 mock draft. We're going to rapid fire them picks, baby. Do some grades, have some fun.
Drink some beers.
100%. Come see me at the Village Porch tomorrow, which feels weird because we're 5 states away from there. I'll be there at noon tomorrow for all of your day 3 festivities. Oh, this is the easiest pick of the day. Theo Johnson, tight end out of Penn State.
All right, there you go.
Boom. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a mock draft.
Yes. The day 2, night 2.
Gonna be a mock
draft in the books. Yeah, we're gonna take a break.
We're gonna
Not
go
a
take
quick
a nap.
break. It's gonna be a long break.
I'm gonna go lay in the back of the car and sleep.
Yes. We will be back on at.
We'll be back 6:30 to 6:45 somewhere.
6:30.
I think the stream's set for 6:30. So, and tonight we're wanting to do way more questions. You guys were amazing last night with super chats and all those things. So tonight will be our last night here. We'll be flying the red eye out a little later, and then we'll be back in Asheville for day 3 tomorrow.
Yes, indeed, we will.
But we hope you'll join us for every pick of tonight. And we're going to be rested, and I don't care if I have to go meet somebody in an alley for something to wake me up. I will find it.
Again, live reaction.
Jeremy's going to be doing the uppers in an alley in Detroit.
Coming to you from Radio Row here in Detroit. And as always, we got to thank our good friends over at Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings, for making it all happen. We'll see you guys this evening for night 2 of the draft.